Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. In Jeremiah chapter 29, the Lord gives a word to the exiles who were in Babylon. And basically what he tells them is that you guys are there for the long haul. There were people in Babylon, false prophets, who were prophesying that the captivity, the exile would not last for very long, and that the people would soon be able to return back to Jerusalem. But the word that the Lord gives through Jeremiah is that no, you're going to be there a while. And it's going to be some 70 years before you're able to return back to the land. And he tells them, you know what, just make the best of it. Build houses, engage in regular business, continue to have children, get married, have children. Just get used to being in exile. But don't forget that I do have a plan. Even though I'm not going to restore you back to the land immediately or soon, I do have a plan. And that plan is for a time in the future. He says in verse 11, that famous verse, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for calamity, to give you a future and a hope." So in this state of exile that they were going to be in for a very long time, they were to make the best of the situation and keep hope in the fact that God has a plan and that they have a beautiful and bright future in connection to that plan. And that's something that we have to remember as well. There's times in which we feel like we are in exile. It could be maybe a physical exile like they were experiencing. Maybe for whatever reason, we might be physically removed from loved ones. We might have to move away from our church family or other things, and we might feel physically exiled from others. I think as we've gone through the whole experience with COVID, I think a lot of people felt physically exiled as they had to stay in their homes. They couldn't visit some of their elderly relatives. Just felt like they were disconnected and physically exiled. And sometimes we feel that way. Sometimes we feel emotionally exiled. We might be around people physically, but emotionally we're detached. We feel disconnected from people, and we feel exiled emotionally. And then sometimes we feel even spiritually exiled. Maybe we aren't able to do the things that we used to be able to do. Maybe because of physical ailment and limitations, we're not able to serve the Lord like we used to. And so we feel spiritually exiled, or maybe because of some mistakes we made. We feel spiritually exiled. But in all these different cases, we just feel disconnected. We feel like we are in a state of limbo and of exile. And to make matters worse, oftentimes we might find ourselves in that type of situation for a very long time. And maybe it becomes apparent that we will be in that state for a very long time to come. And so what should we do in these circumstances where we find ourselves either physically, emotionally, or spiritually exiled, and for a very long time? Well, it's the same thing that they should do, that they were told to do. Make the best of the situation, trust in God's plan, and hope in the future that He has for you. And to realize that God does have a beautiful and glorious future plan for all of us who have faith in Him. Whether it happens in this life or not, we know that in the future, God has a plan for a beautiful existence for those who have trusted Him, where there will be no more sorrow, no more sickness, no more dying, no more tears, but a beautiful eternal existence with Him where there'll be joy and bliss and happiness forevermore. And so if there's anyone in our group today who's feeling exiled, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, maybe these words will have special meaning for you today. And you can do like what the exiles here in Babylon were to do, and make the best of the situation, trust in the Lord, trust in His plan, and keep that expectation of a glorious future. And I think that can help us as we make each step, however difficult each step may be, and help us to keep moving forward and keeping our eyes fixed on the horizon, the beautiful horizon that God has before us as we journey through this difficult life, oftentimes and sometimes even exile. So these are some things we can think about as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.